Welcome to the reality where you are wildly rich, deeply fulfilled and creative, and never need to work again. And this is not some scam or clickbait. This is literally what's possible for you because it is actually already the truth within you. And this is coming from my direct experience. This is the way that I live and the way that I've created my life to be. And so in this video, I'm going to walk you through, if I had to start all over again from scratch, how would I become wildly rich, deeply fulfilled and creative, never needing to work again? And I just want to start by saying, I don't work at all. In fact, I play purposefully. And that may seem like a silly thing to say, but it's a deeply distinctive new framing on all of this, because it radically changes your relationship to it and therefore your energetic feeling with it. And so the reason why I have traveled the world for the last 5 years nonstop, living in over 15 different countries, having more than enough money to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it, and having endless inspiration to create from the deepest part of my being, is precisely because I don't work. And in fact, I haven't worked for over 10 years now. And so this is where I want to start. I want to start from the recognition that it is utterly unnatural, this relationship we have with work, this 9-to-5 schedule, this sense that we need to earn our living, this sense of unworthiness that we carry around with us, this sense of needing to get somewhere, whether it's retirement or a certain amount of money or a certain outcome. It's all placing the power, which is yourself, outside of the only moment where it actually exists, which is right here and right now. Your success, your fulfillment, your wealth is not in the future, not on the other side of something that you do or achieve. It is found and uncovered right here, right now within yourself. And that's the key. And so this is where I want to start. If I were to guide myself into getting into alignment with the path of least resistance towards my calling, fulfillment, creative expression, and abundance in all areas of my life as a service, as an offering, as a business, as an expression, the first place I would start is by setting the intention right here, right now, to powerfully come into clarity as to where I can begin. And it really begins with the commitment. So right now, if you're doing this with me, I want to encourage you to set the intention to be fully all in, fully committed with utter conviction that you are going to uncover this path for you. That you may not have all the details, you may not have an entire plan worked out, but within yourself is going to be an unshakable conviction and faith that now is the time, that you will do it. And I really want you to feel into this, because if you can get this, if you can lock into this, everything else will take care of itself. So there's actually no point in continuing this video or this process until you have truly, firmly come into a feeling within you that now is the time. If not now, then when? So choose powerfully, consciously, deliberately, that you will commit. It may not be easy, it may not be pretty, it may not go the way that you expect it to, but it's going to go. So, my friend, now that you're ready, let's move on. Really, the first step beyond the intention is the essence of where everything emerges out of. The clarity, the inspiration, the guidance, the intuition, the opportunities, the synchronicities, the relationships, the knowledge, the intelligence, everything emerges from the deepest, innermost self within you. And I often refer to this as imagination, because it really is the essence of who you are. It is an unbridled, unlimited, unbounded potential of creativity. And in that, there is unlimited abundance. You see, the resources that you have within you are infinite. And so money or opportunities or success or achievements, they're all a reflection of the inner awareness that you have of the infinite abundance that you are. And I really want you to feel into this for a second, because if you can come in contact with the truth of who you are in this moment now, through your intention to know it, then you will have unlocked the door to this new reality where everything is going to show up just in time. And all you need to do is simply be receptive to it and act upon it. And that's it. Despite what we've been taught in life about all that you need to plan, all the education you need, all the experience you need, everything that you need to gather up in order to be ready to be successful, it's totally unnecessary and backwards. Because through your consciousness and the cultivating of that connection with that infinite inner abundance that is the source of all realities, all possibilities, all opportunities, then you have stepped forward into the path of least resistance to manifesting that into your external reality. So, the first place that I would start is the first principle of imagination. I want you to tune into, what is it that you truly desire? What do you truly desire to create? If there were no limitations, if there were no expectations, if there were no standards for you to live up to, for you to fit into, what do you want to create? And you can access memories from when you were a child. What did you love to do? If money is no object, if time was not needed, if there was no experience necessary, what would you do? What would you love to wake up into as a life? What would you look forward to doing? What would you be inspired to create and share? It can be a business, it can be an art form, it can be a creative expression, it can be a service, it can be a product, whatever it is. It's going to be a symbol of value that emerges from the deepest, most inspired and energized place within you. And I want you to take as long as you need, if you need to pause this video to tune into this, to uncover that essential inspiration within you. And if you look back on your childhood especially, what did you love to do? What did you want to grow up to be? These are not merely childhood fantasies. These are deep recognitions of your soul, which have been abandoned, which have been neglected, which have been pretended to be unrealistic and not valid. But I'm telling you that they are the true way to all that you want and more in life. So this is your permission slip to remember who you are and to reclaim those innate, inherent, creative impulses within you. And that is the next key to unlocking all of the intuitive, inspired, synchronistic unfoldings of that innermost self co-creating with you to manifest that reality. So, once you have really come into contact with anything, it doesn't even need to be a detail, it doesn't even need to be a tangible expression, it can even just be a feeling. But I want you to really come into alignment with that feeling and allow that feeling in your imagination to guide you into more of that reality, because this is going to be an experiential visualization in a way, but not in the way of the mind controlling it, but in the way of imagination unfolding it. You, as the you that you think you are not needed here. So just set the intention to radically get beyond the mental activity and get into the realm of that theta state, that state akin to sleep, that feeling of awareness but not alertness, of just being, which then your imagination kicks into gear and starts to lead you as if you were dreaming, into this beautiful reality where you are the creator, you get to create whatever you desire, and it gets to emerge from the deepest, most fulfilling place within you. And so allow yourself to be guided into the knowing of what this is. And again, it doesn't need to be anything in particular or anything specific. That will unfold in the process. That will come to light the more you act on the next step, which I'm going to move on to now, which is alignment. You see, once you have come into contact with the inspiration, with the feeling, with that image or vision in some way or another as to what you can create, what you can express, who you want to be, as a feeling, as a frequency here and now, it is simply a matter of aligning yourself with that. And first and foremost, you must disrupt the previous frequency, the old self patterns. You see, this is crucial to loosening up the grip of those bad habits and those limiting beliefs and those tendencies that you have that are keeping you contained to that limited reality of lack, of scarcity, of fear, which are holding back the wealth, the opportunities, the connection, the inspiration, the fulfillment that is trying to come to you all the time. So disrupting the old frequency is very simple things. It's about cleaning up your house, cleaning up your apartment, cleaning up your room. It's about getting everything in order, because you see, your environment is a direct manifestation and reflection of your state of being. And so in order to elevate your state of being, you can also first start by cleaning up any interferences in your external reality. This may seem like a silly thing to do or an overly simple thing to do, but it has profound implications. Maybe you've heard the expression that a clean desk is a clear mind. And this is just one example. So if you set the intention to get your house in order, to clean out your closet, to make your environment pristine, what you will notice is that you have access to inspiration, to ideas, to new impulses to act upon. That is a great starting point. The next thing that I would do is to change your relationship to your relationships. And this can take on many forms. It can simply take on the form of just informing, to whatever degree you feel is needed, to those around you that you are making a change. You don't need to inform them as to what you're doing or how you're going to do it or what they can expect or what you can expect, but simply setting the tone. Because chances are this is going to fit into the next day challenge, which always inevitably comes up in this process of transformation, which is that your environment and your relationships and everything around you is going to start to challenge your commitment to this. They're going to ask you, why are you acting different? Why are you not doing this? Why do you have all these different things that are going on, right? And that's going to potentially creep up doubt in your consciousness, which is something that is inevitable, but something that can be expected in advance so that you can meet it with confidence and conviction and a courage to overcome it. So I would recommend that you inform those around you, maybe in your workplace, in your family, in your community, in your friendships, that maybe some things are going to change here. And you don't need to include all the ideas and all your desires and all your visions, because that's probably going to have some expectations from them that are going to instill some more doubt. But it's simply just about setting the tone. Here's what I'm committed to. And that sets the expectations all around you, just as it is setting the expectations in your environment, so that, for example, when you walk into a clean room or a clean house or a clean office, you're already reminded of the commitment that you've made, of the inspiration that you're ready to receive, of the wealth that is coming to you. So this is all a part of alignment. Now, the next part of alignment is around beliefs. It is around your thoughts, your feelings, your self-concept, essentially your beliefs. Because the beliefs of this future self, so to speak, which is already living in the reality where this is all done, they are different than what you currently have. So you must bridge the gap between who you're being right now and who that version of you is being in that reality. And so, how would you relate to wealth in that reality? How would you spend money? How would you structure your day? How would you feel about your work? And how would you perceive what it is that you're doing? Because if there's any guilt or shame or doubt, any sense of lack or limitation on what's possible for you, then you must examine that. And you must really feel into that. And you must give yourself permission to expand out beyond that energetic signature which has been containing your self-concept. See, it is your self-concept that is generating your reality. So that inner image of yourself must shift in order for your outer reality to reflect all that you wish to manifest. And so this is the process of really going through a series of questions, which will expand and unlock a greater perception of possibility within your consciousness. And once you've done this and you start to feel into tangibly, experientially, the frequency of that version of you, now you start to literally shift your consciousness into that reality. And the more tangible, the more experiential, the more sensual it becomes, the more it is anchoring into your subconscious. And that is the sweet spot. When it becomes your subconscious narrative, it becomes your physical reality. And that is the key. So you must shift your self-concept to be in alignment with the version of you that lives in the reality where this is all already done. And you see, this is the key that not only unlocks the door and opens the door, but it is what allows you to see the way forward. And this takes me to the third and final step, which is manifestation. And you see, manifestation is far simpler than a lot of our new age circles and communities online make it out to be, because you don't need to learn how to do this. You are constantly and always manifesting your reality all the time. So you just need to consciously manifest. You just need to understand how to deliberately manifest your reality. And the simple essence is that the more you move into the inspiration, the more you act on the synchronicities around you, the more you enact on those little impulses, the intuition that's coming to you now that you've shifted your self-concept, the more you are going to bump up against the remaining limiting beliefs that are containing your experience to what is familiar. And that's it. It's just a matter of shifting more and more that inner landscape, that inner self-concept to be more and more in alignment with that reality and that version of you. And this is a natural mechanism that unfolds the more you act on your inspiration, take it as far as you can take it, reasonably speaking. You will know when it has naturally run its course. You will know when you're forcing it too much. And then, this is the third and probably the most important step, it's just to let go of any insistence or expectation that you think you know where it's going. So if you have an idea for a business that's truly emerging out of that vision, that inspiration, your imagination of that self that you know yourself to be, then it is the first and highest inspiration that you have access to right now that is the first step. And if you act on that first step and take it as far as you can with no insistence on where it's going, then you have literally unlocked that first key. And then it's just a matter of tuning into what the next step is. And I know that this probably sounds crazy simple, but it's the simplest things that are the most profound things. And this is the way that it actually works for each and every one of us. It is literally the way that I started on YouTube 13 months ago. And in just over a year, went to almost 30,000 subscribers, built a thriving business that fuels my lifestyle, that allows me to have more money than I need to do everything that I want, to live the life that I've been dreaming of, living in over 15 different countries, doing all that I want and creating in my free time without having any sense of obligation to work, but merely just playfully creating with a purpose. And so whether it's a business or whether it's a creative expression, whether it's an art form, whether it's a service you want to offer, it is that first nudge of inspiration that's going to unlock that path of least resistance. And so all you need to do is be receptive to that and trust in that. And you see, it is this following through on these impulses that cultivates that trust, that conviction, that inner belief, that builds up this sense of conviction that you are the creator of your reality and that anything is possible when you set your mind to it. And when you open yourself up to that greater nature, that inner truth, which is the source of all abundance, all possibility, all inspiration, then you have aligned yourself with this co-creative force that is constantly conspiring for your success. And if you simply act on your excitement, take it as far as you can take it right now, drop the insistence, and then tune back in to see what's alive, what's energizing, what's inspiring. If you do this day in and day out, you cannot fail. And this is pretty much the essence of what it means to be a child. With all the wisdom and maturity that you have as an adult, but with the pure, unbridled imagination and that pure joy and love of being, that endless inspiration and creativity, which are the keys to everything that you want and more. And it is not for no reason that Jesus said, to enter the kingdom of heaven, become like a child again. Because it is the pure joy of that inner child, which sees no limitations, which doesn't really fear any outcomes, is not actually concerned about any consequences, but is creating from that innermost place that draws unto you everything that is for you. And the more you lean into that, the more you act upon that, the more you build the trust and conviction in that, the more that reality is attracted to you by virtue of the frequency and the inspired action that you have aligned with. I am living proof. I have done this time and time again. And in the last 13 months, I've done it in a way that is so deeply fulfilling and creative and in alignment with my soul that I can say without a doubt, if you put this into practice, you cannot fail. And so there it is, the entire blueprint to be wildly rich, deeply fulfilled and creative, and never needing to work again. And this is the essence of my metaphysical alignment method of I am. Because you see, it is imagination, alignment, and manifestation. And this is the premise of my 12-week mastermind. And this is one of the last times I'm going to talk about this because there's only a couple of spots left and we are starting next week. So if you're still with me and you're interested in working directly with me and being surrounded by a dozen or more other creators in this energy, in this space, in this mood of inspiration, to over a 12-week period radically change your life and manifest your desired reality, then comment creator down below and I'll send you more information about this 12-week aligned creator mastermind.